There it is. Here we are.
We're here on time, too.
On time. Give it, 7 minutes. But, we are here. Welcome to Mohawk Table Talk, where every Tuesday at 12:30, we come to you. We bring the news to make you an educated buyer. We have a guest in the studio today. Welcome, Andy.
Thanks, guys.
And we're going to get to him in just a moment. We're going to talk about a bunch of things. But what do we got going on today, Mike?
Oh, we have a lot going on. And again, welcome to Mohawk Table Talk. I'm Mike, this is Nate, and we're here to give you all the latest info, both what's going on at Mohawk and what's going on outside. But obviously the big news is it's, what's the date? It's the 26th already, right? November 26th. Close. 2 days before Thanksgiving, 2 days before Turkey Day. So we appropriately have themed this episode. We're talking about Thanksgiving, we're talking about deer season, and we're talking about football. What else is there to talk about?
That's pretty much it. I think that's once you get around to this season, that's all you talk about right now is deer, football, and turkey.
Absolutely. Well, we just had the Holiday Parade. Remember, we were talking about that for the last few episodes.
We did.
Nate was right there, right in the thick of things. So give the folks a recap on exactly how did that work out? And I thought it was a great success.
It was amazing. It was so much fun. We were partying with the DJ, aka myself, aka Buddy, the elf. It was so much fun. We were just moving and grooving. We were getting everybody to shake and dance along with us. It was a 30-foot float, but it was beautiful 30-foot float.
It wasn't 60, but 30 was just as big.
It was just as big. It was just as big, just as impressive. The team really did a great job. 3 tiers. They started low and then worked their way up. So shout out to Scott, Mike Healy, and everyone that helped out to build that thing because it looked amazing.
Absolutely. And shout out to Schenectady, Scotia, Glenville, everybody that came out. We really appreciate it. The entire community. It was just a great event, and we look forward to doing it next year. And we're going to be back bigger.
We'll be back bigger. That's what we keep hearing from our general manager here is that we just want to keep growing and making it bigger. We were showed up by a few different floats, and we are very competitive. So we're taking it to the next level. I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll have Santa skydive come down and land on our float. Who knows what happens? But we're going to take it to the next level next year. But thank you for everybody that was out there.
Absolutely. That's a tall order for next year. But until then, hopefully you put everybody in that holiday spirit, in that holiday mood. Speaking of the holiday spirit, we still have some things going on here at the dealership, at both dealerships that are very important to us. We have both a food drive and a hygiene drive.
Yeah, so we have a food and a hygiene drive going on. So bring in your non-perishables, just like normal, any food drive, non-perishables, cans, box goods, things like that to really help out the community. But on top of that, we also have a hygiene drive going on, and they're going to the same place, Christ Episcopal Church in Ballston Spa. And that's going to be like your shampoo, toothbrush, toothpaste, different things like that, just to help those out around this time of year who may have less than us.
Absolutely. And that season of giving has never been more important. It's always important, but especially around the holidays. It really, I know for myself, it's a time of reflection when I say, geez, I'm so grateful for everything we have to be part of the Mohawk team here and part of the community. But very, very important. If you can stop by either showroom, both the Chevy showroom and the Honda showroom, we have donation areas. And like I said last week, I can't believe the reception that we've had, the response from the community and from our team. In fact, there's been a couple pickups already. They've already picked up a whole bunch. And
I didn't know that.
Absolutely. And so we want to fill those up again. And the donations are welcome anytime, but especially now where we can make sure that they get there for the holidays.
Absolutely. So stop on down, grab your items, bring them into either Mohawk Honda, Mohawk Chevrolet. And the Collision Center, I think, has some stuff there too.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. Yeah, Mohawk Collision is the entire Mohawk team. So Mohawk Collision also, and we'll hear from Handy in just a second. And not to overshadow the other event that we have going on, right? There's a
Camaro
Chevy
giveaway.
Camaro giveaway.
Yeah, Chevy Camaro giveaway. We are also partnering with Pastor Charlie. So that is January 6th. Some people thought we were ending it. It's going until January 6th. We have it right here on the flyer. Make sure you check that out on our Facebook page. It is the featured post on the top of the page here. So make sure you take a look at that. $50 gets you 1 raffle ticket. $100 actually gets you 3 raffle tickets. And we are trying to sell 1,000 tickets. And we've actually had some individuals that have donated $1,000 and more.
Wow.
So
wow,
Thank you so much to everybody who has donated and participated already. I know we had Terry O'Donnell from B95.5. He actually donated. So get everybody in. Like and share this. And if you're watching replay and you have donated, thank you so much.
Absolutely. And just to recap, why this is so important to us, it's important to me, it's important to everybody here, and Nate and the team, is that your raffle ticket, your entry, goes to supporting a great cause. Right. And Pastor Charlie and his partnership with assisting with foster kids and that local impact is so important. So even if I know one lucky winner is going to win the car, which is really neat. However, really the point is that that contribution and that giving thanks is beyond anything that I can put in words. So very important. On a logistical note, the raffle tickets are digital tickets.
Yes,
right?
they
so
are
they're
digital
tickets. So there's a way to do it right online. We'd love to see you in the showroom, but you don't have to come to the showroom by any means. But if you are in the area and like to stop by either showroom, we can show you how to enter. You can actually do it right on your phone, which is really pretty neat. So very convenient. But please, like Nate said, check out our post. All the details are on there. And if you have any questions, you can always put them in the comments also. Absolutely.
And so this is going to help foster kids, so everybody's winning.
Absolutely. And so that's big season of giving thanks. We've talked about it for the entire month, right? And next week we'll be back. Well, it'll already be December. I can't believe it. It'll already be December. So we'll be talking about the next step of the holiday. However, one thing that is a thing right this time of year is it's deer season.
It's deer season.
It's reindeer season for those of us that are looking forward to maybe a Christmas holiday and all the fun stuff next month. But it's deer season, and we'd like to talk a little bit about that because that actually impacts all of us. Anybody who drives a vehicle, anybody who's on the road in a vehicle, there are deer out there. It's deer season. Upstate New York. That's no surprise to any of us.
Nope. I almost hit a deer last night. It just jumped right out in front of me. So
absolutely. And you know where we are at the intersection of Route 50 and Freeman's Bridge, and it's right by the airport. And when I went home the other night, see deer running right across the road. So it's not only in rural areas that you see this. So please be careful. It's a thing, and,
especially during dawn and dusk.
Absolutely. So. We'll cue in Andy here.
Andy.
Andy Padone, the manager at Mohawk Collision Center. There's nobody that has a better perspective on deer and what damage it can do to a vehicle than Andy does. So, Andy, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. As Nate had just mentioned, dusk to dawn. That's when you're going to run into the deer. You want to be alert. You want to keep your high beams on when you can. Take a look at make sure your eyes are on the road. Be safe. Wear your seatbelts. They will be jumping out. It's what they call the rut season, the mating season. So the deer are churning. There are hunters in the woods, so they're kicking them out, moving them around. As far as the impacts and collision is concerned, we see a lot of damage. We see a lot of significant damage. The smaller cars, obviously, that deer unfortunately gets up into the windshield area, which could get critical and create major injuries for drivers. The pickup trucks as well. We've got a lot of vehicles. Probably about 20% of our work right now is, unfortunately, for the deer. It's comprehensive losses.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot to go into it, and luckily we have Mohawk Collision Center. We have Andy and his entire team that are ready to assist if something like that happens. Obviously, but the goal here in our chat is going to be about avoidance, right? Let me ask you this, Andy, if you can remember, and I know you may not talk to everybody who comes in with a deer hit, but what's one of the first things that person comes in with their damaged vehicle that hit a deer? What's one of the first things that they say?
Scared the living daylights out of them. I get absolutely scared.
Doesn't it all?
Yeah.
All the time, every time.
And what we do see is a lot of direct impacts, which is unfortunately what you want to see. You don't want to veer off the road. 20% of the fatalities in a motor vehicle accident are for vehicles that steer off the road, hit trees, hit poles. So it's important to stay. They like to keep you, if it's a 3-lane highway, try to stay in that middle lane so you can have that opportunity to maneuver. As I said, when it's dark, use your brights. lights. Be alert. Don't text and drive. That'll reduce the risk. But yeah, I mean, they come in, they're scared. They just hit a living animal. They get out, they see it. Don't touch the animal. You want to call the police right away. Get your vehicle off the road. Make sure you're safe. Put your hazards on, especially when it's dawn or dusk. Be safe. Make sure the people in your vehicle are safe and no one's hurt. And that's really what you need to look for. But people, yes, they get very scared. I mean, you just hit a solid living animal. So
yeah. The idea is scary to begin with, let alone being in that situation. I've had one deer hit in my life before.
Wow.
Have you had it before?
I have not had the opportunity, which I do not like to have that opportunity. If I'm being honest with you, I don't want to hit a deer.
And I'm sure many of you have, especially based on what Andy was just talking about. Now, I remember distinctly, and when I hit a deer, and I was driving an SUV, it was like a glancing blow, so hit the bumper and kind of veered off. So luckily, I didn't have that direct hit like Andy's talking about. But what I remember saying to myself, and that's what I was asking Andy, is the first thing I thought is, wow, I didn't see that coming from anywhere. Like I was looking forward and everything, and I just didn't see the deer, and it was in the middle of the day. So a little bit contrary to what you would think.
In the middle of the day too.
But we should be alert all the time.
Yes,
right? Not just at dawn and dusk. One thing, and I know that was years ago, and I know still today when I drive, I make sure that my eyes, when I'm looking forward, I'm looking side to side, right? Mm-hmm. And like Andy mentioned with those high beams, you turn those high beams on, right? Your headlights, your high beams on, and you can see some reflection, right? Mainly from the eyes, right?
Mainly from the eyes.
Usually. Reflection from the eyes.
You want to be careful too when if you see the deer in front of you. Don't assume that it's going to move, especially with the lights on. The deer will freeze in the light. So if they turn, you'll see their eyes. They'll freeze from the high beams.
Literally, deer in the headlights, right?
Yep, deer in headlights.
So you want to be careful. You want to slow down, even if they're on the side of the road. At that point, don't assume that they're going to stay there. They could get startled, and jump across the street. So again, when you see them, approach them with caution.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't it true that if you see one, there's a good chance?
I was going to say that. Usually when I see one, there's like 2 or 3 that are like, oh, hey, we're coming with you.
I think there's about 1.3 million deer killed a year by auto accidents.
Wow.
1.3 million.
That's
what is that? Bet you didn't know that. Oh, shoot.
Absolutely. The good news is, and I don't have this pulled up, but the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration does have some warnings and advice on driving in heavily populated deer areas, which certainly we are. So we're in upstate New York, obviously. Even if we're west or north, wherever you are listening of Albany, it's a heavy deer population, and it's not exclusive to rural areas. Like I said, I could ask our team members. A lot of us see deer just on our drive home, and we're almost in Schenectady. You'd think, no, this isn't just out in the middle of the woods. This isn't just out when we're camping or going skiing or anything. Anytime, right through, the deer can run right through a business. They can run right through a residential area. So be super careful. There's obviously no time, with or without deer season, that you want to have your alert down. Always want to be alert.
Always be alert while you're driving.
Absolutely.
So in the case, and this is a question for you, is in the case that you hit the deer and then you, like Mike said, like skims a bumper, still dents the bumper, and the deer runs off. What do you do in that scenario? Do you still get off the side of the road? Do you call the police automatically, or do you get to where your destination is and then call them?
Well, I think you want to first get out, pull to the side, put your hazards on, make sure that it's safe to get out of the vehicle. Take a look. Is your headlamp knocked out? Is your fog lamp knocked out? Is there any leaks? Antifreeze? Coolant? You want to look for that. If that's the case, you want to pull the car over, immediately stop the vehicle. You don't want to drive a vehicle that's unsafe.
It's true.
At night with one headlamp, you'll get a ticket anyway.
Yeah,
so those are the things you look for. If you find that there's no leaks, there's no steam coming from the engine, there's no headlamps out, it might be safe to get home. At that point, the deer is gone and in the woods. Chasing and looking for an injured deer is probably not the most prudent thing to do.
Right. Yeah, that's not the time. That's not the time to be trying to find the deer. You certainly safety is number one. And I'd imagine this wasn't in my case, but I'd imagine if you pull over to the side of the road, you have to be careful of other traffic, right? I mean,
Yes.
Other traffic could be coming either way,
Yeah.
and you might be in a little bit of state of shock of what just happened. So certainly be careful and make sure that you're safe, and you may not be in the car alone. So everybody that's with you, make sure that everybody's okay first.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's a really good trip. Now, once we're past the actual hit there, now we need to get our car fixed.
Right.
Chances of being no damage, there's no chance that there's no damage. So there's some damage, and we can certainly help with that at Mohawk Collision Center. And I'm assuming that if somebody has our contact info, which we're of course going to make available to all the viewers, and this right on our website, that somebody has that happen, they can call us.
Yeah, call us. I think what you want to do is make sure you're safe, get to the side of the road, you finally get to your destination, make that phone call to your insurance company. You obviously need the comprehensive coverage for that loss, that type of loss, but make that phone call, give them notice of your claim, let them know where you'll be bringing the vehicle to Mohawk Collision. They can inspect it at your home, or they can inspect it at the collision center.
Okay. Really good, yeah, because I'm certainly not an expert like Andy and his team, but there could be more damage than what it appears, right? You may hit something like a deer, and your hood might look a little dented, and you say, "Oh, geez, that's not that bad. I guess it's not good that I hit anything, but it's not that bad." And then upon further inspection, that deer may have gone even further up the car than you think, right? Yeah. To the roof, to the quarter panel. I've even seen up at the collision center, we've seen deer hits where the side of the vehicle is damaged because the deer may have even wrapped to the side, a lot of different things.
And again, because of the rut season, because they're being spooked or chased, they will literally run into the side of your vehicle. So that's something you obviously may not be able to avoid. It's already behind you, your front line of vision, but it is something to be aware of.
Yeah. So in that case, the deer is hitting you. I mean, holy cow! I never thought of that. Right?
I never thought about that either.
Right, the deer. Anyway, yeah, that's some crazy stuff. So there are a lot of deer hits that we see every year. Mohawk Collision is certainly the experts on making sure that we get on the right track. We have folks, Andy and his team, would be happy to give you some advice on what to do next. If you were like me that time I didn't really know what to do, and I work here, right? I didn't really know what to do. So sometimes you need some folks who handle this quite a bit. No matter how major or minor, it's a big deal. And of course, the last part is we want to make sure that the vehicle is repaired properly and safely, right? Andy, if you could chime in on when those vehicles are repaired. We know what happens at Mohawk Collision, but if for some reason somebody's not at Mohawk Collision, proper repair is paramount.
Here at Mohawk Collision, we're certified with 22 different manufacturers. We work specifically for the manufacturers and follow those guidelines to repair the vehicle and get your vehicle back to pre-loss condition. We do not use aftermarket parts. Everything we use is original equipment. With the rare occasion that we have to, it is certainly something we consult with our customers about. But the most important thing, again, is to get the vehicle back safe in your hands, back on the road.
Absolutely. And really quickly, aftermarket parts versus original equipment parts, right? So in our case at the Honda store, Honda parts versus non-Honda parts. What would somebody who was having a repair done, like why would they rather have that original equipment?
Well, the original equipment is better fit, better quality, rust proofing, rust prevention, things of that nature. The parts of the OE equipment are the original equipment. Some in some cases could breach a warranty if you use parts that are not.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's a good point. So warranty coverage, because that damage on a vehicle, from what I see when I'm at the collision center, is not just the painted material or painted metal that you see, or plastic that you see on the outside of the vehicle. There could be a lot more, right? Under the
That's
hood.
correct.
There could be a lot of things that actually help operate the vehicle instead of just how it looks. So very important. Original equipment parts. Make sure that the vehicle's back to original form.
That's correct. Yeah.
And certainly there could even be some safety repercussions.
You do run
not
into
using
that.
original parts.
Yeah. With that, any safety items, your reinforcement, which is the beam behind your bumper cover, that is structural. That is a safety item. Windshields are safety items. The hood, if an aftermarket hood versus an original equipment hood, could have several different convolutions. That hood is designed to collapse. If you're using something that other than a non-OE part, there's a good chance that part may not crumble the way it's supposed to. And then again, now you're talking about a hood that can go into a windshield. So it's very important that you put the right parts on those vehicles.
There's a lot of stuff. I know Nate and I are kind of like, holy geez. Thank goodness we have Andy and his team.
Yeah, thank God.
Absolutely. And for any listeners, hopefully, please stay clear of the deer, be cautious. But should that happen, Mohawk Collision is certainly equipped to walk you through. And each scenario has to be so different, right? You have different people coming in with repairs needed. I mean, everyone has to be different.
Yeah, I mean, they're all scared. There's no doubt about it. Unless, you deal with folks who've never had an accident before, or even here, I've been lucky enough or fortunate enough never have hit an animal. So most of it's first time. People come in, you've got to, get them calmed down again, make sure that no one's hurt, make sure that they're okay. That's the most important thing. But we see it all the time, and you take each case as they come. Each claim is different.
Got it. And whether it's a deer here or any other claim that's needed or repair that's needed, insurance companies, meaning your own company, right, sometimes can be kind of intimidating. I know last time I called my insurance company, I wasn't even quite sure what button to press to get to who. So, it's a little crazy.
I feel that.
Mohawk Collision can help with that claim process, right?
Yeah,
with the company.
Yeah, over 30 years of experience on that side of the business. Know the policy, know the regulation. We know what you're entitled to. We can certainly walk you through that process. Any questions that you have in terms of your comp or collision coverages, even the liability aspect of your claim, feel free to give us a call over at Mohawk Collision. I'd be more than happy to help.
That's great.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot. And hopefully we don't have to deal with that, and nobody.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have to deal with that. But if you do, we know who you can call.
That's right.
And it's not Ghostbusters.
That's exactly right. Call Andy and the Mohawk Collision team. It's very important that we brought that up. Literally last night as I left work, I saw a deer, and we're talking about it on the show today. So it certainly kind of goes hand in hand with Thanksgiving and football. Football.
Well, thank you so much, Andy, for your expertise. Andy's you've been part of the insurance company for what? Insurance company, but like the insurance realm for a while.
Yeah.
So you are an expert.
Yeah, I've been in and out of the auto body business, the collision center, but most of my career has been about 30 years with the property and casualty carriers.
Absolutely.
So use him. Call for Andy. Ask him questions if you have any questions, and he's more than happy to help out.
Absolutely. Thanks, Andy. And thanks to the whole team for keeping us educated, too, here in the Mohawk Auto Group. But please, if you have any questions, we'll make sure we put that contact info in the notes. And you can also put your questions in the notes, and we'll make sure Andy and the team reach out and get those answers for you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, guys.
Well, we talked about this a little bit last time, and we're talking about trade appraisal. And what happens if your vehicle does get hit? And what happens to the value of your vehicle, Mike?
Very, very good question. So what Nate's talking about, I think, is you had that.
You know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. You had that unfortunate deer hit, right? It certainly wasn't your fault. You didn't ask the deer to hit you, and you didn't ask him to be standing in the road, right? So you had that hit. We called Andy and the team at Mohawk Collision. We had that repair done. However, now things like Carfax report indicate that there was an accident and there might have been some damage to your vehicle. Even when the vehicle is repaired, there's still kind of that stigma. Right. Now, the good thing is, especially
no one likes to see an accident on your Carfax.
That's right. But there's a couple things here. So there are a couple things to consider. So if you are a Mohawk customer and you're a Mohawk Collision customer, when you do if you have that unfortunate claim like a deer hit, you have that vehicle repaired with original equipment materials, right, with OEM materials, and the vehicle, we know it's done properly. Then when you come to trade that into a Mohawk store, we know we have all of that history. We know it was done properly, and any difference in value on your vehicle is very minimal, right? And it's very minimal. Now, still, if there is that report on the Carfax, that next buyer is going to see that. However, when we go to resell that vehicle, we, the dealer, can speak with all confidence that we know that repair was done properly and right to spec, and we have all the information that we can pass on about the repair to that next customer. Not your personal information, of course, but the information about
no personal information is sold.
Of course. But that's very, very important. So I can't stress that enough, that it's very important to have your repair done at a certified shop, especially at Mohawk Collision. So when you trade that vehicle back in, regardless of the make and model, but especially if it's a Honda or a Chevrolet, we have all of the information at either store. So that impact on the resale value or your trade value is very minimal.
Okay.
Now there's a second part to that.
Oh, part 2.
What if you didn't have that repair done properly or at Mohawk Collision? There certainly could be a difference. Reason being, if you put yourself in that position, and maybe you've been in that position before when you're looking at a used car, whether it's with us or anywhere else, if you have two similar vehicles, right? And you have a vehicle that has a clean Carfax history and we've inspected the vehicle and there's no prior damage or body repair. Then you have another one, similar year, make, and model and everything, similar vehicle. However, this one did have prior collision damage and may or may not have been repaired to spec. This vehicle certainly, we'd advise you pay a little bit less money for, right? There's no set amount to say. So it's tough to say,
right?
Nate, if you ask me, well, how much does that mean? Well, it depends on the vehicle, right? A lot depends on the year, the model, how much the vehicle would be worth if it wasn't, So there's kind of a scale there, but that's something that's definitely important. And should you look at a vehicle on one of our lots and it was in a prior collision, we'd be happy to explain the impact on the value, on that vehicle. And if you have that vehicle that you own and you'd like to trade or sell it to us, we're also happy to talk about that. And again, each case is a little bit different, but just keep in mind, having that repair done properly to spec at a certified shop where OEM parts are used is always going to yield more money for your vehicle if you're looking to sell or trade it.
There you go.
Whew, that's a lot.
Well, hope you took notes.
That's a lot.
And if not, we got the notes for you. We'll be posting that later, and we'll put some of those stuff in the notes for you so everyone, you can understand that. And always, if you have questions, throw them in the comments below. Throw them in the comments right now. We'd love to take a chat, see what's up, see how you're doing, and if you need any questions. Well, there's the double voice, everybody.
Whew, that was right in our ears, but we got
Scared
it.
me.
We got it. Yeah, absolutely. Any questions about that? You're welcome to reach out to me. I'm at the Honda location. We also have folks at the Chevy location that can answer those questions. And that goes not just for impact of deer hits, but anything else. We were talking last week about the trade appraisal process. If you have any questions or like to have have questions before you come to the dealership, we can answer them ahead of time.
Absolutely.
Anytime. We have our whole team here. So speaking of our whole team.
Ooh. Hey-o.
Oh, let me ask you this, Nate.
Oh, boy.
Have you ever played flag football or anything around Thanksgiving? Have you ever done that?
Not around Thanksgiving, but I've definitely played football with the boys before.
There you go. A lot of us, I know in the past, I'm a bit older than Nate is here, but in my past, there used to be an every Thanksgiving Day tradition, right? Play a little football in the backyard, play with your buddies, play with the family, and
I want to start that tradition. Wow, not transition. Tradition. I would love to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Who wants to play? Hit me up on the DMs. We'll play.
That's right. But there are the professionals that actually play this game.
There are the professionals. There are professionals. I don't know who is playing this year, but
there's a couple teams that we know play every year.
Yep.
Right. I bet you didn't know. Is Cowboys one? Yes. Yes, you're right. Can you guess the other one? There's one team that played more Thanksgiving Day games than any other NFL team.
The Eagles?
Ooh, they have played a bunch, but it's not them. You're close. A little closer to the center of the country. A little further north.
Oh boy.
Into Michigan.
Oh my God, I'm blanking.
It's right on the tip of your tongue. It's the Detroit Lions. Everybody knows that, Detroit Lions. And in fact, we have a couple avid Detroit Lions fans here at the store, so they love the Thanksgiving.
I'm ashamed that you didn't know that. Sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to let you down.
So here's a couple fun facts about that Thanksgiving Day game, which is going to come up in 2 days. So make sure you tune in. And it's just to talk about why that is. It's a nice, comforting thing to do with the family, right? Even whether you're a football fan or not, whether you have a favorite team or not, and whether Detroit or Dallas are your favorite team, everybody
not.
That's right. Everybody likes to have that brunch or maybe even an early Thanksgiving Day dinner, and then sit on the couch and just relax for the day. It's nice to have that nice, relaxing day and reflect on giving thanks. So Detroit Lions.
Oh boy, here we go. Bet you didn't know.
That's right. Bet you didn't know. The most seen football team on Thanksgiving Day in terms of playing games, 82 Thanksgiving Day games for the Detroit Lions. Now the Cowboys are second, with 54. 54
Okay, there we go.
appearances by the by Dallas Cowboys.
See, I just remember my aunt's a huge Eagles fan, so she would always yell when the game was on. So that's why I remember that the most.
Well, they're rivals. Well, the Cowboys and Eagles are rivals. Everybody knows that, right?
Everybody knows that.
I'm sure we
of
have
course.
some Eagles fans online here. Put your put your thoughts in the comments here.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Right now, the Cowboys and Lions, they only play at home. So they're the home team for these games.
Okay.
And the other visitors come in and they change off. Now there's only one NFL team that has never played on Thanksgiving Day. The rest
One
have.
team, huh?
All the rest have played a Thanksgiving Day game before, even though it's not every year. There's only one team. And, I'll give you a cup of coffee on me, Nate, if you can.
Is it the Patriots?
It's not. No,
Oh,
the Patriots played 2 years ago. As a Pats fan, I know that. No, I'll help you. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
So if there are any Jags fans out there, you're the only team that has never played a Thanksgiving Day game ever, any year.
Quick side rant. What do you think about the new Jaguar logo?
Ooh,
have you seen that?
That's right. I have seen it.
What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah,
like
you
it,
do?
I'm that guy who likes the new logos of teams.
Okay.
Right? I don't know about you, but some people, when your team comes out with a new logo.
I don't know. I always like I like the classic. Like, I wish they still had like the animals on the car. Like, I wish the Jaguar was still on the car.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
but let us know what you think. Have you seen the new logo yet? What do you think about it?
Yeah.
I think the whole automotive industry is up in arms about it. For trading transition, I've seen a few fun automotive memes about it.
That's right. Yeah, I kind of like the new logos both for football teams and for Jaguar. Like we're talking about the automotive brand, but they're also going a little bit different direction with their products.
Yeah,
they're going full.
They're going away from Lux, huh?
That's right. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. I feel like the transition of the different manufacturers, that could be a whole podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole podcast.
We should do that. Would be a good one.
Yeah,
maybe later in the year before year's end.
That's right. Yeah, as we transition through December and into the new year, now the model years of these vehicles, they change over before the actual calendar year. You know what I mean? Because we have 2025s.
Right.
We have 2025 model year vehicles on the ground. Right.
Yeah.
Chevy has them on the ground.
Right.
Honda does. So I know that can sometimes be confusing for people shopping for a car. They'd say, I'm going to wait to the new year. Well, wait, but the models are already out.
I know. It's crazy.
That's
why you shop the old. You say you shop the same year. Don't shop the new year. Shop the same year.
Yeah. It depends on the
shop a 2024, not 2025.
Yeah. There are certainly some nuances to that. And last week and the week before, we talked about pumpkin pie. We talked about Thanksgiving.
Yes, we did. Meal. We talked lots about pumpkin pie.
And certainly Thanksgiving is not only about the food, but I have to tell you, it is one of my favorite parts. And the fact
that
you get that
pie is your favorite part?
Of course. Well, what's your favorite part of that Thanksgiving Day meal? Are you having Thanksgiving at your house this year?
I'm not.
I'm
going to the in-laws.
Okay.
In-laws, and I'm going to the in-laws. I do help them. I make the green bean casserole from scratch.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So the mushrooms, the roux, all of that fun stuff.
Are the green beans grown in your garden? Not quite that
I
far?
wish.
Okay.
No, but they are fresh green beans. They're not from a can.
That's true. Anybody can cook from a can. I've been guilty.
Well, I think that's the nostalgia. Is everybody and their mom has made the green bean casserole. You take the green beans from the can, you empty the water out, you pour the green beans in there, you get the cream of mushroom soup, you put it in there,
That's
you
right.
get the French onions. I will say the French onions are the same. I don't know how to make those. I'm not even going to try. I'll stick to the French onions.
Let me ask you a couple questions here now that we're on this topic. We have to know all this about Nate, right? You have to know your hosts here.
You got to know.
How about your favorite Thanksgiving Day meal side? Now, not the green bean casserole that you were just talking about.
Okay. Does bread count?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I loved the bread. Growing up, we always used to go to my grandma's.
Okay.
And so they would make grandma's goulash, aka goulash, with string noodles instead of however you had in the past. Mm-hmm. But my aunt, the same one that loved the Eagles, go fly, Eagles, fly, Eagles, fly. I think that's their slogan. Would always make homemade bread, homemade rolls.
Homemade, okay.
And she only lived up the road a little bit. So they were warm right out the oven when they came in.
Right out of the bakery. Right out of the bakery. And if
How about you?
If you were going to ask me.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you right now.
You know what my favorite thing about Thanksgiving, it certainly doesn't have to be a Thanksgiving thing, deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs?
Deviled eggs. I have to have them, and I like them on all varieties.
Okay.
You ever see you make the deviled eggs and you put some bacon bits on the
Never
top?
seen bacon. It's usually paprika.
Yep. Well, you can get a little crazy, and I'm good with any of it. And I like to spice it up. You put some jalapeno chunks on there, all that kind of thing. So I'm a deviled egg. I'm one of those people that I'm so full by the time we get to the turkey that I need to take a little respite. Maybe we'll go watch some football before we go on. But anyway,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that notion.
Enough.
But there's always room for more deviled eggs. I will say that.
That's right. So if you're watching and you'd like to comment, put your favorite part of that Thanksgiving meal in the comments, and we'd love to chat about it. But
absolutely, I want to know what we've done a few videos on this on our social media, so if you haven't seen them already, make sure you go and see that. We'd love to hear what your favorite Thanksgiving is.
Whew. So I think we're Thanksginged out. We got 2 days left till we'll
almost
be back.
Black
Next week,
Black Friday is coming up too.
That's true.
We got Black Friday coming up. We got to know if you're doing some Black Friday shopping. Throw that in the comments. Do you do it, or do you say, nah, I wait till Cyber Monday? Which I almost feel at this point in time in our lives that it's pretty synonymous now.
It is.
They do a Black Friday week now.
It is. And now I haven't looked up any of these stats, but the majority of people have to be shopping from home, right? Or like remotely, right?
I think so.
Online shopping. There's
I
gotta
honestly
be
think
some
so.
info on that. Now, one thing that you don't have to do remotely, or I guess you could partially, is shop at Mohawk Honda or Mohawk Chevrolet.
That's right.
I hear the Chevrolet store has some neat Black Friday specials that they told us about.
Yes. So at Mohawk Chevrolet, they have some Black Friday deals, and you'll see this as you're driving in. They have it on their cars and things like that. But receive $1,000 towards your trade-in or $500 off any vehicle on our lot.
Wow.
Select offer per customer. Select one offer per customer. Must be present at the time of purchase, and it's only valid between November 1st and the 30th.
Ooh, okay. So if you were waiting, Mohawk
Excludes diesels and Corvettes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right. No problem. but for the majority of the inventory at Mohawk Chevrolet, like Nate just mentioned, there's some great specials, some discounts, right? Everybody wants to know what's the special.
Everyone wants to know the specials. Well, there's your specials, my friends.
And at Honda, we also have similar savings. There's a whole bunch of vehicles that are on special, so please check the specials section of our website. A lot of the Honda specials are geared toward leasing. So if you were waiting and holding out for that low lease payment, this is the time to check it out. Right, and especially on that Honda Prologue, a couple episodes ago, we talked about the EVs and how important that is, especially if you'd like to save some money. It's one of those weird things where you could actually buy something and save money.
Yes.
I don't know if that's called car guy math or what, but, you could buy something.
We're calling it car guy math because that's exactly what it is.
That's right. Also at Mohawk Honda, we were talking about Pastor Charlie and the Camaro giveaway with the raffle that goes to the best cause you could think of for Black Friday and Saturday this week. If you buy a vehicle from Mohawk Honda will contribute the amount of that raffle ticket, and your name as the buyer of new car will be entered to win that Camaro. So you'll be entered into the raffle, and that's our Black Friday special here at Mohawk Honda. So as Greg Johnson, the general manager, mentioned in a couple of videos before, that we themed it. Buy a car, win a car. Right? And it's buy a car, have a chance to win a car, obviously.
Yes, buy a car.
Have a chance to win a car.
Yes.
But we'd love to chat with you about that.
I mean, you do win a car. You're getting a car.
Well, that's true.
I mean, when you buy the car, you're winning a new vehicle, I guess.
That's true. You're winning, yeah, absolutely.
You're winning a great experience at Mohawk Honda.
Sure. So we got a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on. A lot of
things going on. And like I was mentioning, next week we'll be back. It'll be December already. I feel like we need to turn the knob a little bit, and we're going to just switch modes. And who knows? There could be some of that snow and white stuff on the ground. I don't know.
Oh boy!
Exactly.
Reindeer. Oh boy!
We switched from deer season to reindeer season.
This is true. We switched from deer season to reindeer season. That is 100% accurate because someone's coming down your chimney in December.
That's right. A few weeks away.
And you don't call the cops on him.
That's right. A few weeks away. Boy, we covered a lot. Thanksgiving, right? We talked about deer season. We talked a little bit about football, and we talked about what's going on here for Black Friday at Mohawk Auto Group. That's a lot to recap. What do you have for the folks in terms of what our recap looks like here for this week?
Well, I'm full. Get it off of, all of the information that I have. Big shout out to Andy Padone from the Mohawk Collision Center. Thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us. Again, if you have any questions about that, throw that in the comments or message us. We'll throw that information in the comments below. We're always here. We're always here to help you out, no matter if you have a question. Maybe you're not even in the market, but you just have a general question. Like, we'd love to help you generally.
Absolutely.
Genuinely.
There was a lot of information in this episode. We chatted it up about Thanksgiving and the holidays and so forth, but please remember, please be careful out there when you're driving. Be very attentive. You should always be that, but especially this season with deer all over the place. So we love Andy and the team, and hopefully you don't need to meet them because your vehicle has any damage. And please make sure that you and the loved ones are safe this season. And I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I know I will.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Mike O'Toole.
Well, thanks, Nate. Happy Thanksgiving to you and the family. And, of course, to all the listeners and the entire Mohawk Auto family, we wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a great holiday season.
Absolutely. And we are very thankful for you. But until next time, this is Mohawk Table Talk. Every Tuesday, we come in, we talk to you at 12:30 about the latest trends, tips, and tricks to help you buy and become a more educated buyer. Until next time, we'll see you.
See you next week.
Extra nice. Got a question, ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Story flow, insights unfold.